Good afternoon, guys and girls, Metalhead to the world. Over Metalhead here, hoping you're having a good day. It's Tuesday, the 12th of December, so happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish followers. Hope you have a really good 8 days. I mean, you guys get 8 days, and us Christians, well, we only got like 1 day. The reason why I haven't really vlogged much is because my computer's been stuffed up. Now, the reason it's stuffed is because of the charge. Like, you plug it in, and it's supposed to charge, but the charger isn't fitting properly. So, I have to hold the charger in, or like tie it around my computer while it waits, and sometimes it just goes flat. So, I've had to go to internet cafes in Tottenham and spend 3 hours a day just uploading photographs from my last month's trip to Georgia. And it's only £3 for 3 hours, so like it's worth it. And plus the computers are better. I mean, they're Windows 7, but they still work well. I mean, you know, when you need stuff like done, you just do it. I mean, it's just a shame like how if I have to edit my videos on their computers, it's gonna be like Windows Movie Maker, and I haven't used that in like years. So I'm going to go up the road, I'm going to go check out the RAF Museum because it's something I've been wanting to do for the last couple of months since I've lived here. I'm always into military history of this country. Like, you know, the story is, I had a great uncle who was in the Scottish Army, like King's Scottish Border Guards, who were in Dunkirk. I also had a great uncle from New Zealand. He served in North Africa, and I'd like to see him. He was also in, like, could have been in Malta or maybe Italy. I'll have to find that out like one day. So I got this thing, and it's kind of bringing me down and hurting me. And it's all about bad back pain. Now, when I was 27, I traveled from Middlesbrough all the way to Istanbul without flying. I was carrying a bag, a bit like this, much bigger, that had 7 kilograms. I was carrying it every day through the streets of Amsterdam, Prague, Budapest, Bucharest, Sofia, and Istanbul. And by the time I got to Sofia, I started having like back pain, started having like back spasms, and they went away. And then a year later, I was doing some chefing, and I experienced like severe like back pain. I had to like get up and take a walk. So now I'm getting this back pain, which basically happens is when I lie down and sleep, when my back starts like aching, so I have to like sleep on my side, sleep on my stomach, or try to like elevate my legs. And it's been like that since I got back from Georgia. Like it was painful like a few days and it went away, and then it just came back. At first I kind of think it's signs like the flu, because when you have the flu and stuff, you get joint aches and all that crap. So I'm kind of hoping to see a physiotherapist, one that's run by the NHS, because you don't want to be seeing chiropractors. I mean, 8 years ago, I saw some chiropractors in Parramatta in Sydney. They charge you about like $60 for these exams, and they're basically saying I have a whole bunch of like back problems and stuff, even spina bifida and arthritis. And like I showed something like a GP, an actual GP. My GP has known me for like 15 years. He says, "Oh, mine, these results are a lot of bunking, and this after your money." I mean, who goes to chiropractors? It's a waste of money. You'd rather be going to government-funded places that you don't have to pay for. Or I mean, if you have to pay, you get some money back. So I've had to have like days where like I've had to walk without carrying my bag. I've had like days where like I've had to keep moving, because I mean I am a cook or a chef or KP, and like I do like spend 7 or 12 hours a day on my feet. So I've been doing that for like years, so I mean I should not be getting back pain when I'm 32. I mean, it's simple. Sweet mother of mercy, they just made a snowman. Aha, here it is. Royal Air Force Museum. Still open till 5 p.m. Gonna go inside and take a look right now after I've had my lunch. Well, here we are, Royal Air Force Museum. What do they got here? Submarine Spitfire Mark 1. Must use this in World War II. Remains of the Rolls-Royce Merlin III engine and pilot control. Like this engine here was a plane that crashed in London. And I mean, they had to dig it out in the ground. So these are squadron badges that they used to identify the plane, to see where the pilot was from. That one right here, zoom in, that's all about from Scotland. That one's in New Zealand, the Maori. Oh yeah, this one up here, I think that represents like South Africa. Because I mean, it's like that animal with antlers, you see that on a lot of South African war graves. Palm trees, it could be like West Africa, West African regiments. That one up there looks like Gurkha. Yeah. Oh wait. I don't really know too much about these squadrons because normally when the person dies, it just on the grave just says like Royal Air Force or Royal Australian Air Force or Royal New Zealand Air Force or Canadian Air Force. See, this one's pretty interesting. The Curtis Kitty Hawk, the 3 Grand fighter used during World War II. I mean, it looks very scary to me. I mean, especially with that type of painting. But the fun fact is, for anyone from Papua New Guinea, this aircraft has been assembled from original parts from several wrecks located in the jungles of New Guinea, and some specially fabricated parts made in America. So it's kind of like been remade from the crash parts. So here's another one of those planes with a palm tree. When I see the palm tree, it makes me think of the West African regiment. But right here, it talks about Assam and West Bengal and the northeast of India. So this is about Marshal of the Indian Air Force, Ranjit Singh. He did he flew a total of 128 hours, and he was like one of the first people in the Indian Air Force after independence from Britain in 1947. And people who got medals from the Royal Indian Air Force before Indian independence in 1947. Sardar Hardik Singh Malik, he served with the French Army on the Western Front and joins the Royal Flying Corps, which later became the Royal Air Force. Flight Lieutenant Vincent Bunting. You know this guy, was born in Panama and raised in Jamaica. He joined the RAF in 1940, selected for flying training. Promoted to warrant officer, Bunting served for the 132 Squadron, the Spitfire Squadron. Progressed. It's actually a Mustang IV. He was commissioned as a pilot officer and in June received his last flying position at the RAF joining the 1 Squadron. Subsequently, Vincent Bunting went on to serve in an administration post prior to being discharged from the RAF with the rank of flight lieutenant in 1948. This is Flight Lieutenant John Henry Smith from Sierra Leone. He joined the RAF in 1941. was actually captured. Another POW. Didn't say where. That's it. Another Jamaican. They've got a couple of medals. And the guy from the Indian Air Force who also received this medal. So this is like the Battle of Britain, the Roll of Honor, because a lot of countries from Eastern Europe, like Poland, the Czechoslovakia, and Belgium, and yeah, they came to help at the United Kingdom, along with people from Canada and New Zealand, and there should be some Australians, because there were Australians who did serve. All these people died during service during the Battle of Britain between the 10th of July to the 31st of October 1940. Yeah, right here they've got one of those German planes, Messerschmitt Bf-109E Signal Sea Fighter, served for Germany during World War II. Yeah, got all the German symbols. Yeah, I mean, all the German planes, to me, looking at it right now, pretty dull compared to all the Commonwealth ones. So I find this kind of rad that it says the Royal Air Force, Commonwealth of Nations, but I mean, only a couple of these countries are Commonwealth, like Australia, where I was born, Canada, India. I mean, that shouldn't really be there because that's post-independent Indian flag. New Zealand, where my mom is from, in South Africa, well, which the flag's appropriate because that's the flag of the time. Yeah, so there was always like British expatriates from all these countries or colonies who were like living there at the time. They decided to go help the UK out. I mean, a lot of these countries like Poland and the Czechs and the Dutch and the Norwegians and the French, they all flew to Britain where they retrained their armies. And so a lot of them were used in the Royal Air Force to attack during the Battle of Britain. Right here, following the 1941 Japanese attack on Dutch East Indies, present-day Indonesia, remnants of the Royal Dutch Indian Army's air service escaped to Australia in 1942. They were formed into two units, the Netherlands and East Indies squadrons. Another thing about the Norwegians is actually traveled to Canada during the occupation. They were trained in Canada. I mean, the current king, he lives in Canada for a bit during exile. And I'm heading to Malta soon, so 1 in 4 pilots defending Malta were Canadian. A fifth of the Coastal Command and a quarter of the Bomber Command aircrew came from the Royal Canadian Air Force. 12 fighter squadrons were Canadian. Over 12,000 gave their lives. Now, and the Battle of Britain wouldn't have been won without the Poles. 17,000 men and women passed through the Polish Air Force while it was stationed in the UK. Poland provided the fourth largest contingent fighting in the European theatre of operations after the Soviet Union, United States, and United Kingdom and its dominions. The invasion of Poland was catastrophic for the war, so it was both tragic and ironic. The Polish people ended their conflicts as victors that had simply exchanged one occupying force for another, with the United States and Great Britain withdrawing their recognition of the London-based Polish government in exile in July 1945 and transferring that recognition to the soon installed and dominated government in Warsaw. Many Poles found it impossible to return to the homeland. So that's why they all came to Britain, and then they all went to America and Canada. And even a Polish guy, I remember reading, he joined the Pakistan Air Force upon independence.